Hello, Tyler Williams from Flow Control Marketing. I wanted to give you a rundown of some things that you need to have on your website when you're a plumbing company trying to get leads. So, what I've done is I've got over here pulled up. Let me bring this up, display, boom. This is a website that we recently designed for a client of ours, and we took some cues from other things that we saw around, but largely this is Baby's first plumbing website because he is spinning up. He is not completely in like full on plumbing company mode. He's got two trucks right now. You know, he's adding as he's going, but he needed something that made it look like he was a bigger company than he was. So that's what we created for him. So what we have is first and foremost, you got, website, you've got your banner up here or your menu. We have he only serves two areas. So we just put him right there, right in the top. And then we've got his click to call right up here at the top. That's something that a lot of people tend to miss is the click to call. And one thing you got to be careful about is that this click to call button is still present on mobile. Sometimes when you squish the menu, the templates of the website have a tendency to turn into just the 3-line hamburger or some other menu icon, and your click to call goes away. You want to make sure that your click to call is persistent across both desktop and mobile. So that way, because most people are going to look at it on their phone, or at least 60%. That way it's there and they can just go, bing, I would like to call, because it's always going to be your primary spot. Everything's about driving the phone calls. So what we have is, because again, he's new. He doesn't have any like photos and a bunch of videos that we've done. We're going to work on those as soon as he gets his wraps done. But we've got the happiest plumbers in the interior. The interior is the service area that he does. Fairbanks North Pole is considered the interior in Alaska. So we wanted something disarming right out of the gate. Something where it goes, oh, yeah, no, I can call this guy. We wanted to dispel the idea of a gruff and tough plumber guy walking into the house. So we softened him up dramatically. And he's a good guy. He smiles. So we've got sort of his value proposition here. And then another click to call. Never ignore the click to call. You'll see click to calls peppered all over the place. You scroll down, we got his logo, which again, we want to make sure is A, prominent, but B, also that it's nice. I've seen plumbing company logos which go for a really like macho man look, and he didn't want to do that, and I agreed with him. I said, listen, let's soften this up so that way anybody who is at home alone feels like they can call and invite you in. So this is what we landed on, something that's a bit more like Saturday morning cartoon. And the other thing you'll notice about this logo is the overall color scheme. The color scheme, I looked at all the plumbing companies in his market, and they were all like blues with a hint of red all over the map. And there were probably, I want to say, 10 companies with van wraps and logo designs that just turned to mush in your brain. And what we wanted to do is make sure that when he was on the road, he stood out. And any piece of communication he put out there would stand out. So that's why we went for this green and purple hue. And I'll tell you what, his old van used this color scheme at our request as well, and it stood out. People immediately started calling because this color scheme is unique to the marketplace. So think of that when you're designing your logo and when you're doing your branding, because being unique is huge. And as we scroll down, oh look, another click to call. Again, you'll find a lot of these. So we go down. We've now said, okay, who are you? What do you stand for? Now, what do you do? And here's a list of all the things that he does. And of course, call now, call now, call now, call now. You want to turn all those into call now buttons. You can put them over on an individual page, and we will probably be linking that later as we develop those pages. But right now, it's just a matter of, okay, we want them to call. We want people to say, oh, plumbing repair, I need that. Let me call. So that's all in here. And then we give more context. Okay, now they know his sort of value proposition, the services he does, but who is he? Okay, this is a little bit about him and about his crew. So a little just about us with a little contact. Again, the phone number is written here so that way people see it. And then below that, we finally come to a form. Don't plant your forms too high on your page, because ultimately you're going to close the sale a whole lot better if you have them on the phone. And that's why we have his form down near the bottom. And of course, there's extra content over here about how good they are at what they do. And then, of course, want to give qualifications of, hey, look, we've got 5-star reviews. And then so we put this widget in here, ties into his Google reviews immediately. So that way we're able to just keep this populated with the freshest reviews that come up. The other thing to consider, though, is taking these reviews and popping up further up on the page. So I see a lot of people doing it on the second header or the second section of the website. And I think that's a good idea, especially if you're really having, it all kind of comes down to the company. But if you are having a hard time building credibility, or if you're brand new to your market, that would probably be something you want to do. But you also need to be requesting those reviews at a regular clip. You need to have a system in place for that. And then down, we've got, okay, here are his 2 communities. And these are written for each city. So that way he ranks for each city. And Google's going to look at those pages and go, oh, yes, that's that guy. Okay, J-Rod's Plumbing. He services Fairbanks and North Pole. And then again, now down at the footer, finally get into like the social links and things like that. But also here's this stuff with, oh, look, another click to call button. Again, you cannot underestimate the power of click to call. And you'll notice that these, like if you came to this website, you'd notice this number flip. These buttons are also call tracking numbers. So what happens is anytime somebody puts a call from this website, it gets pinged and we know that's coming from the website. And then we can tell where they're coming from, how well the website is performing, and then make further decisions on its design based off of that. So I hope this was a helpful little teardown of a website for plumbing companies. And this is something that we do. So of course, as always, if you need to find out more about us or you're interested in our services, go to flowcontrolmarketing.com. Thanks.